Today, I want to share something with you, a hack, if you will. You see, we are all chasing two things in our photography. We are chasing an experience, and if you've been here before, you know how passionate I am about the experience. But experience isn't all we're chasing. We're also chasing after the best output we can possibly make. Now, part of my personal journey has been trying to marry those two worlds. What experience do I want? And what is the best output I can make? And in today's video, I want to show you how using the square format like you're looking through right now through my Hasselblad, like this Rolleiflex, but really has nothing to do with these cameras, it has to do with the square format, how using that format brings together the experience and the output in a way that's going to surprise you. And as fun as it probably is to look through my Hasselblad, let's get a real setup here. All right, so now that we are set up here at the desk, I want to show you guys what some photos look like that come out of these square cameras and how you can use them to make some of your best output. Let's start though by talking about the tension point that comes shooting 35mm. So this is my Leica M6. This is my favorite 35mm photography camera that I have. I have a couple of others, but this is the one that gets used the most because it's the experience that I love. For my digital photography, I shoot a Leica M11P Safari. Love that camera. This is as close to that experience as I can get on film. It's the same lenses, same form factor, like everything's great about it. But you might be asking, if everything is great about it, what gives? And for me, it's the 35mm film format. So this is the 3:2:3 aspect ratio. I'm just gonna show it to you guys on the back of my phone here. You can see, even like in comparison to my fingers, the size of this negative. This is the most common way we shoot. When you hear full frame equivalent, this is what you're hearing. So now let's compare that to a square negative, something like this right here. It's truly a square. And it's pretty big as well, like you can tell. These are quite different in size. Let's look at them side by side here. The 35mm and the square 6x6 are very, very different sizes. So you can see that when you step up to square photography, when you step up to a 6x6, that 1:1 aspect ratio in a camera like this or in a Hasselblad, or like I said, dozens of others, when you step up to these cameras, you're going to get way more resolution than you're going to get out of a 35mm negative like you would shoot on something like a Leica M6 or a point and shoot, or, you know, hundreds of thousands of cameras that are out there. So I've pulled out here nearly 100 photos that are shot on square cameras, whether it's the Rolleiflex or the Hasselblad. You can see just right here, this is a pretty diverse gallery of landscapes, a few portraits, some documentary stuff, and then just, you know, kind of just a random selection of work. So any of these photos are just a prime candidate for what I want to show you here. Let's just take this boathouse photo taken at Lake Tahoe. This was shot on a Rolleiflex that I used to have. It was not this one. This is the 2.8F. This was the 3.5. I'm pretty sure this is Portra 400, but I don't quite remember. It was like 7 years ago. And as a square, it looks great. I mean, square photos can look really good. But if I'm out shooting on my M11P, I'm mostly shooting on that full frame equivalent type of aspect ratio. I'm mostly shooting a 2:3, 3:2, whatever. The square photo, from an aspect standpoint, is going to look somewhat out of place. And here is where the strength of the square camera gets. You can crop this camera to any aspect ratio you want, and there is so much resolution there that you don't lose anything. And that is really cool. So when I'm making a body of work and I want to include film photos, I could take the M6. That's a great experience. Remember, it's a marriage of experience and output. But if I want a similar output to my digital cameras, then I need to use something very high resolution, something like the size of this negative, this 6x6, this 1:1 aspect ratio. And then I get a photo like this that can crop in any direction. So there's one crop, I can flip that to another crop, and it looks like it rides right along with my digital photos. I can crop it to the Instagram crop, or the OG Instagram crop, that 5:4, and it still looks great. And I can take that same logic and apply it to any of these photos. I could come into this landscape here, straighten it up, get it into that 3:2, and there you have it. It looks great. And look how much more of the negative there is available. There's so much more. We can go 5:4 with it and get some of the foreground, and you have a totally different composition all from the same negative. It's even high res enough that you could do something like an X-pan crop. So even going ultra wide with it works on a square. No matter how I want to crop these square photos, they work and they can sit alongside their digital counterparts. What this allows me to do is to have that open gate, multi-use mentality. Video cameras today that shoot in open gate use the entire sensor rather than just like the camera I'm shooting on has a 2x3 sensor, but it only gives me a 16:9 video, so it's cutting off the top and the bottom. Imagine having a camera that has a 4:3 sensor, which has much more top and bottom, and shooting your video and being able to crop it vertically or horizontally. That's open gate. This is the original open gate because I have a big negative that I can crop vertically. I could even crop it 16:9, which is the phone vertical, and it still is high resolution and looks really good. The thing that I want you to understand here is that when you have a lot of resolution, you have unlimited ability to crop. So shooting in square allows you in post to get multiple uses out of the output of your camera. I feel like a lot of people get intimidated because they say, it's hard to compose with square. It's hard to see in a square format. And I don't disagree. I think seeing in square is kind of hard. So while a lot of my compositions are composed for square, I shoot fully knowing that I can also go vertical or horizontal with the crop and get a lot of use out of these photos more than just, like a square is going to be. Photographers today, we really don't experience a lot of limitations. Digital cameras can basically do anything you want them to do. There's plenty of dynamic range, plenty of megapixels. Like there really is no limitation to what you can do with a digital camera. And we live at a really cool time where film photography is really not that old and cameras are still widely available from the past. Like cameras even back, like this one is from the 60s, my Hasselblad's from the 60s. These cameras are old, but they still work great. If we were to fast forward a few hundred years from now, these are gonna be pretty rare to get your hands on, and parts and repairs and all that stuff doesn't really, I don't know if it's gonna scale in the history books the way it does right now. So for that reason, we are living at a really cool time where you have a lot of things available to you that a few generations from now aren't going to have available. In many ways, we kind of live at the pinnacle of two eras of photography that still exist today, which means that you can make work today that you really can only do in this generation of photography. You can go out with the best digital camera that you can get your hands on, and you can also go out with the best film camera that you can get your hands on. And then you can shoot both. You can shoot digital, you can shoot film, and then you can present your work in one cohesive gallery. Whether that gallery is online or printed somewhere, you have an opportunity to be cohesive with your work, unlike future generations are going to get. All of these reasons are why that square format, that one-to-one format, is not just like a great output, but also a great experience. You get all of the things you would love about shooting film. You get all the limitations of film, you get the film look itself, and then you get incredible versatile output. So whether you are looking for a medium format camera to step up from your 35, or maybe you just want to get into film photography and you're looking for a camera, skip the 35, consider getting something like this and putting it to use. Now I've mentioned I shoot two square cameras. I have the Rolleiflex 2.8F, I have the Hasselblad 500cm. I'm gonna put links below to some other recommendations as well if you're looking to get your very first square camera. I've got some links below that you can check out and see if any of those cameras would work for you. I'd love to hear what you think, so drop a comment and let me know below. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.